The birth of writing and the evolution of communication. Today, a single smartphone allows people to talk with friends anytime, anywhere. But before this kind of world existed, how did people share news? The exchange of thoughts or information between people is called communication. So, when did communication begin? Let us go back to a time long ago, before writing existed. At that time, people expressed ideas through gestures or simple sounds. But this method had limits in how much it could convey. So, to communicate more precisely, spoken language emerged. Then another problem appeared. How can people speak to someone far away? Spoken words disappear as soon as they are heard and do not travel far. To solve this problem, people began to leave records. They drew pictures on cave walls to record hunting stories and important information. It was as if they were leaving a message for someone in the future saying, "This is what happened today." Then, at last, letters were created. Letters made it possible to see sound. Because of this, people could communicate across time and space. Now, they could simply write down what they wanted to say and send it. So how did communication change after letters were invented? In ancient times, signals were sent using torches and smoke. By day, smoke, and by night, fire. Urgent messages like, "Danger!" were delivered this way. At times, people ran or rode horses to carry news. Sometimes, even pigeons were entrusted with messages. Would you trust a pigeon with important news? Communication in the past was slow and inconvenient. But when letters met science and technology, it began to speed up remarkably. A clear example is the telegraph. It sent letters by converting them into electrical signals. News that once took days began to arrive almost instantly. In 1861, it took 8 days for the news of the election of Abraham Lincoln to reach the West. 5 years later, the news of his assassination spread almost in real time. Then something even more remarkable happened. With the invention of the telephone, even the human voice could be converted into electrical signals and sent. No longer letters, but sound itself began to travel across distance. Joseph Henry, a physicist and a professor at Princeton University, introduced the idea of communicating through encrypted electrical signals sent along wires. He also proposed the telegraph and designed the structure of a practical device. However, Samuel Morse, an American painter at the time, took Henry's research, secured the patent, and became wealthy through the success of the telegraph. Morse's system converted letters into electrical signals and transmitted them through wires. Later, Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, making it possible to convert voice into electrical signals for transmission. In 1895, Guglielmo Marconi successfully transmitted wireless signals for the first time, opening the era of wireless communication. With the rise of wireless communication, signals could be sent without wires. This led from radio and television to the smartphones used today. Here is an interesting point. No matter how advanced technology becomes, letters are used more than ever. Through messages, chats, and social media, letters are written and read dozens of times each day. Does this feel familiar in some way? Communication began with sound, was recorded through pictures and letters, and has now returned to letters. In this way, the present closely resembles the distant past of humanity. Then we must ask the question, why did we return to letters? Perhaps it is because letters are the most precise way to express thoughts, and the most lasting. The next time a message is sent, consider this. Even this short message being sent now may be just one moment in the long history of communication that has continued for thousands of years.